Hey guys, I'm Robbie, and this is the Race Report. Alright, so hey, welcome to the Race Report for May. Man, we had some great racing this month. We had a lot of cars sent in this month, actually. So thank you to everybody that sent cars in. We are having a great time racing cars. And some really good racing, good competition. So hey, I just look forward to Diecast 64 continuing to grow and to really have some of the best racing that you can find. So anyways, couple of things before we get into talking about the races. So I do want to apologize a little bit for some of the video. Not a ton, but there were a few videos where the ending of the race kind of got cut a little bit short. So here's what happened. Last month we had the GT Classic on Thunder Road, and so I had to take the track down to set up the Thunder Road track. And when I put the 4-lane back up, it was a little bit further down in the room than it normally was, and so the finish line ended a little bit further than when it normally was. And so I'm kind of in my routine, you know, I'm filming the cars go past, and as soon as they hit that finish line, I usually scan up to the monitor so that you can see the results. Well, so normally I just kind of have my pattern, boom, it's there. The problem was the finish line was a little bit further down, so I kind of got here and scanned up. And some of those slower cars, if there were cars that were spread out a little bit, I missed kind of some of the end of some of those. It took me a couple of races before I realized that, and by some of the later races I got that figured out. But anyways, if you had a car that had its ending cut off, I apologize for that. Like I say, I figured it out, and so most of the video turned out pretty good, but as I was editing, I did notice that I was a little bit quick on that sweep up to the monitor for the results. So anyways, sorry if the ending of one of your races got cut off a little bit, but problem solved. I just needed to become aware of it, linger a little bit more there at the finish, and then swoop up to the results there. So anyways, we got that figured out. So hopefully you enjoyed the video this month. The heavyweights, wow, that was fun. I would really like to do some more heavyweight type races, but I decided, and I had this problem last year and I totally forgot about it, and then this year again I remembered, and I really got to do some work for next year. So my start gate, I love the start gate. I love the flip up start gate rather than the drop down gate. I think it's a more fair start. As you got the cars lined up and that thing swings away, everybody starts kind of at the same time. Sometimes with the drop down gates, if you have a car that's sitting up a little bit higher, he actually gets off a little bit sooner than those cars that are set a little bit lower. But I feel like the swing out gate, if it swings out fast enough, everybody's starting at the same time. So I really feel like it gives it a really fair start. However, with the swing out gate, when you start getting a lot of weight on there, it just wants to open on its own. And so I had to do some modifications to my gate. And so I put a lead bar across the top. I got some lead weights on the sides. That wasn't even enough, and I had to put another lead weight on the top. But I loaded up a whole bunch of weight on the top of that start gate, and that kept it closed enough when we had those big heavyweights under there. Man, I don't know, pulling, I had to really like yank that thing to get that open. So I'm going to kind of look into next year, maybe kind of creating some sort of other, a different start gate actually. It'll just be my heavyweight start gate. And I don't know, I'm going to do a little playing around in the next little while and see what I can come up with for that. And anyways, gonna have to modify my start gate if we're gonna be racing heavy cars like this month. Oh, it was fun though. Those things were so fast, but we'll talk about that later. Anyways, I don't know. You probably didn't notice, except for the start gate might have looked a little different in the heavyweights, but otherwise, I think I did a pretty good job getting the gate up quick. And I probably didn't notice, but man, it was a lot of work. I had to work out these arms a little bit getting that gate open for sure. All right, I just want to talk about one more thing. So last month I tried something new here on the Race Report. I went ahead and I realized that we weren't showing any racing on the Race Report, and so I started showing. I decided to take at least one race from the finals in each class and show that, and so that we can see some racing. I actually fiddled around with it a little bit last month. I was planning to show the complete finals, so all 4 races in the finals for each one, but that turned into a really long video. There was just a lot of racing, and so I went with just one heat from each finals, and I think it turned out pretty good. I liked it. Still kept the show moving along. So anyways, I'm kind of open. Tell me what you think about showing the races there, and if you want to see more racing or just kind of talk about it. Initially, this show was just kind of talk about some of the things I noticed and just talk about the races a little bit. But I don't know. I feel like we should see some racing. So anyways, I'm just going to go with the one race again this month, and let me know what you think. If we need more racing, like say, initially I'd kind of edited in all 4 heats in the finals. So you know, the complete finals for each class, but like I say, it got kind of long, and I didn't exactly want it to be a race video because I have those already. So anyways, I think it worked out pretty good. I'm gonna probably continue to do that, but let me know what you think. Maybe in the comments if you like the racing, or if you feel like we've already got the racing and we just need to talk about it, or maybe if you want to see more racing. I don't know. Let me know. All right, so the stock class, man, this class has turned out to be really fun this year. I'm loving it. We've had some really exciting racing, some really close racing. I mean, we've had a few cars that have done really, really well, but for the most part, lots of really good racing, and it's kind of interesting. May is the 5th month, right? So we've been doing this 5 months this year so far, and we've had 4 different teams as the winners, right? 4 different teams represented in the 5 months. So that's really cool. It's we're kind of spreading it around a little bit, and as we've talked about, that keeping the monthly winners here and not letting them compete again the next month, keeping them here for that Car of the Year race that we're going to have at the end of the year. It's been really cool and really fun for the competition, and so anyways, we're spreading it around, and it's a lot of fun. So this month, we had actually a couple of cars by Rivera Racing. He had a couple of gold hot ones representing there, and then we had Pink Flamingo get into the finals, the stock car here, and then we've got G-Force Racing also getting in. So that's some exciting racing. So what we're going to do is we're going to head to the top of the track. Bobby Ray Firestone's got the call, and we're going to see what happened in the stock finals.
It's a beautiful day here at Diecast 64 Raceways. We take you to the top of the track for the stock finals. And here they go. They're neck and neck as they come down the hill. As they hit the flat, it appears Rivera Racing has taken a slight lead on the inside. Now here comes Pink Flamingo on the outside. What a move. Is it enough? Holy smokes, that was just too close to call. Whoa, Nelly. Pink Flamingo pulled it off by just 0.02 of a second. However, that would be Pink Flamingo's only win of the finals, as Rivera Racing's Murata proved to be just too much for anyone to defeat.
Wow, that was some great racing. Holy smokes. So it looks like the Gold Hot Ones are back, representing, taking the crown this month. So it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what castings people send in, and what can come out on top next month. So, hot off the shelf. This class is still being dominated by basically 3 castings. The Jaguars, the Lancers, and the Zoom-ins. However, I wanted to show you 2 other castings that got into the top 10 this month, and castings that I think have really great potential. We've got the GT, this Ford GT, and I like this casting a lot. It's really wide, right? This GT40 is pretty wide casting, so that's always helpful. And I don't know, I've seen some pretty good stuff from this casting, and so I think it's got some potential out there. I think we haven't tapped into all of that speed potential. And then this Mustang from last year, the clown car, so to speak. I've seen a little bit of potential from these cars in some other races out there. I've seen this car be modified and be a really fast car, and I don't know. I think this one has got some potential as well. So there's a couple of castings that I think the GT40 and this Mustang that I think we can probably tap into some of that speed, and I don't know, maybe break things up a little bit. But in the top 10 this month, it was the 3 main castings, and then these were the only 2 that broke in there. And in other months, we've seen a few other cars break into that top 10, and so maybe I'll try to point those out a little bit too. But this month, that's what we had. 9.81 with a Jaguar and a zoom-in. We had Sea-Dog Racing with his Lancer, and then we had JAC with his Jaguar as well. So they all made the finals this month. So let's head out to the raceway and see how the finals shook out.
Thanks, Robbie. We head back to the top of the hill for the start of the hot off the shelf race. We've got some familiar castings back this month, and they're off. It looks like a great start for everyone as they head down the hill into the transition. 9.81 takes the lead in lane 2. Now here comes Sea-Dog on the outside. Oh, and a late run by 9.81 on the inside. Holy smokes, that was close. I have no idea, and it looks like it was Sea-Dog in lane 4 with only thousandths of a second separating first through third. What a race! While Sea-Dog took that race, it turned out that JAC was the man to beat in hot off the shelf, coming in with a first place finish.
Wow, the speeds of these hot off the shelf cars, I can't believe it. It's just phenomenal. I don't know, I get so excited. I can't wait to see what gets sent in next month. I think we're in for some really good racing in this class. All right, so it's time for the ever popular It's a Draw segment. We'll do a little bit of a drawing here, give away some stuff. So this month, we're going to be giving away this 5-pack. Has some pretty cool stuff in it. Got the Lancer Evo, got this cool CRX in here. I don't know, I think there's some pretty cool cars in there. And giving away a little D64 axle jig, so you can, as you're modifying, you can get those axles set straight. Been playing around with a couple of different versions of this, and I don't know, I think I kind of like this one. One of the things that's hard about an axle jig is there are certain cars that just, I don't know, you try to get them in there, they just don't fit very good. And so anyways, been playing around with that, so we're gonna throw that out there and see if anybody if somebody wins that, if they like that. So anyways, let's just get to it. Let's see what we can get. Fool around in here, got some names in here, all the racers, and let's go with this one. ND Racing. ND Racing, been racing with us for a long time, so coming away with the 5-pack and the axle alignment jig here. So congrats, buddy. They'll be coming your way with your cars. So our open modified race this month, holy smokes. So last month I said that I thought maybe 412 was the magic number, right? It took a 412 to get into the finals. Well, okay, this month, these cars were running so fast. It took a 413 scale miles per hour, 413 to get into the finals this month. Crazy. The top four in this class are running so fast. Anyways, who do we have in? We had a couple of cars from Rivera Racing make it to the finals. We had 9.81 Racing make it in, and G-Force Racing make it in. So, I don't know, let's head out to D64 Raceway and let's see who came out on top.
Thanks, Robbie. Rivera Racing has dominated the open modified class with wins the last several months. The question is, can 9.81 or G-Force beat him today? There they go. It's a close race as they come down to the hill. But on the outside, it looks like 9.81 is taking a slight lead. Here comes Rivera on the inside, but I don't think it's enough. Whoa, and here come the rest of them. A photo finish for second place. And it is 9.81 in first. Wow, G-Force gets the nod for second. Look at those times. 9.81 would win this battle, but it was Rivera Racing that would win the war and squeak out a first place finish by a few 10,000ths of a second. Look at all those 413s. What an amazing race!
Wow, these open modified cars, they are running so fast. Oh, so fast. It's amazing the kinds of speeds that these cars are getting. So excited to see what gets sent in next month. Alright, so Modified Street. This class is really growing. People love this class. It seems to be one of the most popular classes that people sending in cars to, and I really think it's just because of the idea of it. Remember, we decided to set up a class where the cars look like cars. In open modified, we get to play around a little bit. We get to tweak. We get to try some different things. We get to stretch them a little bit. We're worrying about aerodynamics and all that stuff. But in Modified Street, we got cars, right? And so that's kind of the spirit of the class. We kind of define that as production cars, right? Because sometimes you get into some of the fantasy castings. You're like, yeah, it kind of looks like a car, but it kind of looks like, I don't know. And so I didn't want to have too much argument or things like that. And so basically we just said, you know, if it has a manufacturer's name like Ford or Chevy or Cadillac or whatever, then you're probably good, right? And so also concept cars are okay, again, as long as it has a manufacturer's name. We'll even take some race cars. As long as they have a manufacturer's name, it's like a real car from a real car company, then you're good to go in Modified Street. And I've had a few cars come in that have been a little questionable or whatever, and so usually what happens there is if it doesn't fit in this category, then I just race it in open modified. The weight class, I kept the weight classes the same so that I could do that. And then that's just kind of up to the discretion of me running the races. If I feel like you know, it does fit the spirit of the class, then we're good to go. If I feel like it's on the edge, or maybe it's not quite there, or if it doesn't have a true manufacturer name on it, then I'll just run it in open modified. I want your cars to run, but we're keeping this class pretty pure, I guess. And so and it's been fun, so much fun. So who do we have qualified for the finals in Modified Street? Well, we had a couple of Rivera Racing cars get in. No stranger to the finals for sure. We had MBX Racing get a car in, and JAC Racing get a car in. So let's get out to the track and let's see how this played out.
Last month in Modified Street, JAC Racing secured a victory with his super fast Fairmont. He's back with another. Can Voxer spoil the repeat? There they go. Voxer's yellow caddy gets out quick. MBX Racing pulls even as they hit the flat. Here comes Voxer on the inside. No, JAC making a huge move in lane 2. I think he got it. Holy smokes, let's wait for the results. And wow, a late charge by JAC's Fairmont catapults him to the top. And that's how it went all day here as JAC cruised to victory, putting up speeds that would rival the open modified class.
All right, so this is the second month in a row that a Fairmont has taken the modified street class. I don't know, that's just a true testament to, I think, the Gold Hot Ones potential. Man, those cars can be so fast. You got to find a good one. And you gotta have nice straight wheels and no wobbles or anything, but they have some fantastic potential, both as stock cars and as modified cars. Hey, it's time for our closer look segment, where we take a look at a modified car, bring you in for a little bit of a closer look. So this month we're featuring a car by Rivera Racing. Been racing with us for a little while now and had some pretty good success. So anyways, I wanted to show you that this is his feature race car, and like I said, I want to bring you in tight here and take a close look at this guy. So this is a hyper truck. At least that's what the bottom says. And you'll notice how he's just done a lot of work here and completely smoothed it out. Nice, sweet aerodynamic lines here, and I love. I think the paint job is really good too. I love kind of that black fade into gray with the speckle there. Really cool, and then a nice glossy finish. Really cool car. Again, this was his heavyweight, one of his heavyweights in the feature race, and I don't know, pretty awesome. So. Anyways, thought I'd bring you in here for a closer look. Hey, thanks Rivera Racing for sending in a pretty sweet car. I wanted to give everybody a closer look, and hope you all enjoyed it. So this month, our feature race was the heavyweight downhill dash, and it did not disappoint. Holy smokes. You know, as expected, we saw some pretty fast times with unlimited weight class. We knew that some of these cars would come in loaded up, and all that potential energy at the top turned into a lot of speed by the time they got to the bottom. Anyways, who do we have in the finals? So we had a couple of cars by 9.81 Racing, and then we had a car by G-Force Racing make it into the finals, and Rivera Racing made it into the finals. So let's head back out to the track and let's see how these finals turned out.
We're back for the heavyweight downhill dash, and I think we're going to see some crazy times with the weight of these cars. And there they go. G-Force in lane 4 gets off quick as they approach the bottom of the hill. Lane 1, 9.81, here he comes. Yes, it looks like 9.81 with G-Force in second, and I think that's how they'll finish. 9.81 easily taking the win. Yep, G-Force in second. Wow, 421. That is crazy. And that's how the finals played out as 9.81 Racing cruised to victory, averaging over 422 miles per hour. That's some amazing speed.
Wow, were those cars fast or what? Holy smokes. This was a lot of fun. I don't know. You know what? I'm running 5 classes right now, and I'm pretty maxed out time-wise. But I think if I could add another class, it would be an unlimited weight class. Man, I love seeing these cars race. So, I do have to throw out a little apology, though. So, JAC Racing sent in a couple of cars, and for some reason, it was pretty late at night, actually early into the morning, when I got racing these heavyweights. And for some reason, I put these on the track backwards. I was thinking that they were headed down the track like this, whoosh, but they were supposed to head down the track like this. So, what I did was I went and ran a little grudge match with the two 9.81 Racing cars that came in first and second. And I ran JAC cars in the correct direction this time. And I must say, there was a definite improvement in these cars. In fact, pretty exciting improvement. So be looking for that grudge match. I'll be posting that on the channel as well, and you can check that out and see how JAC's cars ran when they ran the right direction instead of backwards down the track, and see how they competed with a couple of cars that did really well in the finals. So be sure to check that out. Hey, so with the May races in the books, we better check out the standings and see who's still on top, who's moved up and down. Let's check it out. Hey, so remember, in addition to tracking standings in each class, each month we give away a Racer of the Month award, a little trophy here, and that goes to the racer who scores the most points across all the categories, including the second car. So really, I mean, to compete for that Racer of the Month, you probably need to be entering all the classes and trying to get 2 cars in all the classes. That's going to give you the most potential to score the most points across all those categories. But anyways, let's see how the Racer of the Month points shook out. Hey, so coming up in June is our Gaslands race. Oh, I am so excited for this. Okay, so Gaslands, what is that? Well, actually, Gaslands is a game. It's a role-playing game for cars. Think like Dungeons and Dragons for Hot Wheels cars, right? So again, it's a role-playing game. You roll dice, you do that kind of stuff. You move cars around. You have weapons. You get to try to decide whether you're gonna run into a car, shoot at another car, attack. All with the end goal of completing a race or getting through a certain area. Anyways, pretty fun. So like I say, it's a role playing game. It's set in a post-apocalypse type time period, and the idea is that you take your Hot Wheels cars and you modify them, put weapons on them, make them look all post-apocalyptic and death race, that kind of thing. You see some pictures of some different cars in the book. So anyways, we're taking that theme, that idea, and we're applying it to our June feature race. So the idea is to build some cars, modify some cars so that they kind of have that post-apocalyptic feel to them. One of the requirements is they have to have some kind of a weapon on there, some spikes, guns, cannons, missiles, whatever. It's at least one weapon on your car, and then we're going to be racing on the Banger track. This is a track that I built last year. We saw it in our Demolition Derby race. So we're going to be using that. So it's an open lane track. It has, I don't know quite how to describe it. It's kind of just a small textured rubbery surface on it. But the cars roll pretty good and go pretty fast. But it is open lane. There's not any lanes. And so we should see some crashing and some banging a little bit. We want to build cars to get out fast maybe and avoid some of that rumbling. But I don't know, maybe you'll put a missile on your car and start blowing cars up and clear the path anyways. I don't know. But anyways, hopefully this is going to be super fun. I did put that also on the cars that they should be width of Hot Wheels track, and at least they should fit on Hot Wheels track. Now, I actually, this month, I've given a little bit more leeway as far as width goes. so that, you know, again, if you want to hook some, you know, put some guns on the side or what, you got a little bit of room there. And I realize we're not running on Hot Wheels track, but I put that requirement in there so that I didn't get, like, you know, just big cars or different scale cars because of the increased width that I gave. But hey, there's been a concern come up, and so I want to address that. If you've got some, there are some Hot Wheels cars that don't quite fit on Hot Wheels track, that kind of run maybe on the edge or whatever. I know, like, the Hummer's one of those, and I think the Baja Bug, if you get the big wheels on that one, it doesn't quite fit on Hot Wheels track. And so, you know what, those cars are still going to be okay. I'm going to go ahead and let those run. So if they're close, again, I put that requirement in there even though they're not running on orange track, so that, again, I didn't, with the extra width regulation there, I didn't want just, you know, bigger size, different scale type cars being entered because they still were inside the width that I gave. Again, that extra width is mostly is just for, you know, accessories and guns and weapons and whatever else you want to try to put on those. And so, anyways, if you've got a Hot Wheels car that is a little bit wide, you know, has the big tires on it and doesn't quite fit on Hot Wheels track, it's okay. You can still run that car. This is gonna be super fun. 60 grams is what we're shooting for. Anyways, you can check out on the website www.racehotwheels.com. You can check out some pictures of some different ideas of cars. I got some links for some places you can go. You can go to the Gaslands website. That's a great place to go to get some ideas. And like I say, because it's a game, there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of guys building cars for the game. So they're not building them fast, but they look super cool. So hopefully we can get some of those cool looking cars coming our way. Anyways, cars are due June 20th. And then we'll be racing them. That's the third Saturday, and we always race that week and then post the videos on the fourth Saturday. We'll also be running all the other classes as well. We got stock, we got hot off the shelf, we got modified, street and open modified, and then of course our feature race is the Gaslands race. So super excited for June. It should be super fun. Hopefully you've been on the website, you're already kind of building and thinking and getting some cars ready. Because usually by the time this video comes out, we got pretty quick turnaround, and cars need to be headed off and getting in. If you can get them in early, that always helps me tremendously. We're getting a lot of cars, and that means a lot of racing, and I love it. I love doing the racing, but if I have to wait around for cars a little bit and then they don't come right in and I can't get them organized and get them ready and get racing right away, that always just it puts me back, and it's hard to get everything done, get the videos done. I want to always make sure that I'm getting them up on Saturday, and I've tried to be really consistent with that. So anything you can do to help that way, getting cars in early is always helpful. Actually, they don't have to come in early, but just if they can come in on time, then I've got things scheduled out, and it works really good. So I am super excited for June. I hope you are. I hope we get a lot of cars. Like I say, we had a lot of cars this month, and I know that there was a handful of racers that we have pretty regularly that didn't race. So man, if we get a month where we get everybody sending in stuff that's kind of been racing with us, we're gonna have so many cars. It's gonna be awesome. So anyways, stay tuned, send your cars in, and come have some fun with us here at D64. I'm having fun racing your cars. I hope you're having fun racing with us and watching. And I don't know, that's a wrap, I guess, for this month. I'm going to close this show up, and I will see you in June.